Hello, everyone. I don't know if you heard me, but I'm here, so I'm happy to be here with you. Nice to see you, everyone. And yeah, we're gonna go through some charts. We're going to discuss the current market situation. So definitely stay tuned. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to see what we got if we have some new setups for the upcoming week. And I want to share with you also some of my trades, current trades, and also some of my trades which I closed. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'm here to help you and, of course, to discuss with you some new tickers, new ideas. So feel free to join and make this session more interactive, guys. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. I think you should be able to see the screen right now. So I have here opened the US 500 ES futures. Yeah, good vibes only. Nice to see you here. Hello. And it looks actually pretty bullish still, but I have a short position. So I entered this trade this morning also for subscribers. And I entered here just below those lows. And it looks like it's going in my direction. But again, to short the US market is kind of a very dangerous thing to do, or something which is not very profitable on the long run. So I'm always cautious when I'm doing this and using always tight stop losses, small risk. I don't want to, to over complicate things here. So my stop loss is just above. And I also thought to subscribers, Paul, nice to see you. Hello. If you guys are not comfortable with shorts against this very strong bullish trend, I totally understand that. I personally don't like shorting as well, but I don't want to buy at those levels. So the market went so high recently that currently I just don't want to buy here. And we're going to go through here through the history as well and see why. So this has been a straight move up, and it just continues. It's not stoppable. And, I was looking at it actually last week, and I thought around this level here, this is actually overbought, which it was. But then it continued for 4 more days. And sometimes if you are trying to be patient, if you're trying to wait for the best setups out there, sometimes you're going to look at it and it will continue higher and you will not be involved in the market, unfortunately. So this is just part of the trading business. Nothing we can do, nothing I can do here. But after this straight move up, I just don't feel like I want to buy it. It is very extended, in my opinion. We went here way above the 70 RSI, actually 80 RSI. So I use this to show me just a little bit more where we are at currently. And I don't like buying at this point. What I can do is shorting. That's the only option I have here. But again, shorting is against the trend. And like I have mentioned many times, this can be just, made here and there, but not as a strategy on the long run, because normally the US market is designed to go up. It will continue to go up, no questions. So what I'm doing here is just trying to take a quick trade to the downside with a target, the previous support area, which is in this case, this breakout zone. So let me see, that is 4,623 or this previous low. So I'm going to see where it stops if it continues lower, and I'm going to take the profit. I don't want to hold this short, even though it's overextended. I don't want to hold it because, I know this might turn around and reverse anytime, and then, I'm going to just lose on this trade. So that's my plan on this trade. It's a little bit riskier, like I mentioned, but I just want to give it a try. It's a very tight stop loss, and it has very, very good risk to reward. And that's why, that's what we are here for. So we're looking to find best risk to reward setups only. And in my opinion, this has definitely some room to the downside. I want to share with you also, guys, the last time we saw this kind of a price action, it was a long time ago. And normally we don't see this kind of a price action often. So if you see this overextension, you always have, like, if we look back here, you always have couple of green days pullback, couple of green days, 1 day pullback, couple of days pullback, then another move to the upside, pullback. So you will very rarely see this strong move, what we are seeing right now here. The last one similar to this was back here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Was back Let me move this. Was back here, and then it was followed by a little bit of a sideways price action, choppiness, 3 days pullback, a little bit of a sideways price action and continuation. So that's why I do expect to see some kind of a pullback, even if it is 1 day or two red days. But we didn't see anything at all. And I want to share with you, this was 2017 actually, when we saw very similar price action. I don't know if my chart can go this far. I don't think so. Let me take the weekly chart. Okay, that's my weekly chart. Unfortunately, I cannot change this here. But 2017, we had very similar situation where all of a sudden we saw a huge drop, and a huge drop, and then it started to correct and reverse higher. So what I'm trying to tell you here with this is, when you see this kind of a price action, everyone should start to be a little bit careful. I know everything looks pretty bullish. It looks like it's going to continue higher. And if you close positions, there is nothing wrong with this. We will get another pullback, and we will be able to profit one more time on this pullback. So there is nothing wrong with taking your gains and moving forward, and then looking for the next opportunity. Because what I have seen a lot of times is those pullbacks, if you see this kind of a grind and very strong price action, those pullbacks happen very, very fast and out of nowhere. So, and normally it happens when everyone is very bullish, everyone thinks the market is going to continue, there is no stop, and it's never going to pull back again. And when everyone starts to show so much greed in the market, this is the moment where we see out of nowhere a very strong, huge drop and pullback in 2 to 3 days. And that's totally okay and normal. What you have to do here, though, is if you have too many long positions, you just need to be aware of the current situation, close some of those, maybe trail your stop to the upside, which means, with trailing, I mean just manually moving your stop loss to the previous day's low, and just try to to realize some of your profits. So that's how I personally do it. And I'm almost 90% cash right now. I don't want to open any new positions or on the long side or chase anything, because I'm aware any pullback will wipe my profits. So that's the reason for this. So if you have any other tickers or anything you want me to discuss, guys, let me know. But that's the current situation with the indexes. So I'm looking again to short here. I have a short, and let's see how far we go here. I don't expect it to crash or, to start dumping or something like this. I just want to take a quick trade here to make a little bit of money before the weekend. So that's my plan on this trade. And I'm not looking to marry this trade on the short side. Okay, so that's with ES. Very similar situation we have here on NASDAQ. Very, very extended, and it's actually not so weak compared to ES, what we saw. So it dropped pre-market, went higher. We had today also NFP. We had also news today, which was good. So more jobs are created so far compared to the forecast, which is actually positive for the market. But again, based on the price action, I just cannot long it here. We saw here a drop, continuation higher, and now we see again a rejection. So for those of you who are looking for ideas, or even who are looking to study the chart, so I'm not saying you should go ahead and trade it, but just look at the price action. What happens here is, this is the 10-minute chart, by the way, and this is a little bit shorter term. So I use it sometimes when I'm trying to do a quick trade, like I mentioned. If I'm trying to take some quick trades before the weekend, I would definitely look at the 10-minute chart. You see a little bit better the price action. You can use the 5-minute, 15-minute. It really doesn't matter. You will see the price action on all time frames. And what you see here is that we're rejecting this breakout. So this was a failed breakout so far. We tried to break out here, and you see this sideways price action, those wicks and those red candles. So if we continue below this area, this could be used as a quick short opportunity. But again, based on the overall price action, NASDAQ is actually much, much stronger. So that's why I preferred today to go with ES, S&P 500. because Nasdaq is just way too strong. I don't want to mess with it on the short side. But this is similar price action. So if it continues with this red candle, that might be a quick short trade opportunity, which unfortunately is not doing right now. So it continues higher. RTY is one of the indexes which has been the whole year very, very choppy. So this has been in the past 6 months sideways, going nowhere, very, very choppy price action. This is something I avoided. I was trying to trade it actually back in April, May, I think. I just never had a winning trade on this instrument. It's just like, in some point, that's why it's important to look at, to make your own journal. At some point, I look back and I said, you know what? I didn't have since April a winning trade on this instrument. I'm going to stop using it. And then I focused again back on ES, on NASDAQ, and so forth. So what you see here with RTY, we finally broke out of this range, finally nice breakout, nice move. And I do expect this instrument to exit this kind of a sideways price action and accumulation phase, which we went through, and to enter a nice trending phase again. And this is something what I've been discussing a lot also for my members, what you see on all charts, all time frames, all instruments. Let me delete real quick here something. You will see this over and over again. And also, again, not only on those indexes, you can see it in any other instruments or stocks which you are currently trading or looking at. Back here, very nice strong price action for a couple of months straight up. Every single dip is being bought up. And then at some point, since the beginning of this year, since February actually, those lower priced stocks started to go extremely sideways. So this is just a very sideways price action accumulation phase. And it's normal to change always from uptrending phase to accumulation phase or to distribution phase, and then enter another cycle. So those cycles always change. You go from one cycle couple of months to the next cycle in the next couple of months. And we see what here happened. We're finally breaking out of this cycle, and hopefully we're going to see more clear and better looking price action on this instrument, because I actually like it, but just the past months has been really not good for trading. And let's check out YM, which is Dow Jones. We have here very similar price action and situation. Pullback, a little bit of a consolidation here. It looked actually pretty bearish. Everyone was freaking out, but we held very nicely support. Nice reversal candles holding support for many days, which is a very, very bullish price action. Breakout and continuation higher. This is not as strong as NASDAQ and S&P 500, but still very nice looking chart here. Okay, so those are currently the situation. That is the situation with the US indexes. Let's check out. I'm going to check out now oil and Bitcoin. Some of you maybe ask yourself why I'm looking at oil. I'm looking at oil because it has a very nice looking setups actually on lower time frames, and I do like to trade it. For right now, I just don't see a trade based on the price action, but it had very, very nice looking price action. I have made in different accounts some trades here and there, and they've been working very good. That's why I just want to know what's happening with it as well. So oil has been extremely extended as well. Very nice move here, strong uptrend, and finally it made it to pull back after this long overbought area. And overall, on the long run, I'm actually bullish on oil. This is just a small pullback here, and I do think we might continue higher. And we see this also on the lower time frame, which is the 4-hour chart. Very nice trend, as you see. That's why I'm looking at it. Guys, you can use this as a trade as well for the futures. They have micro future as well. So for small accounts, actually very good. And yeah, I'm looking at it. It's holding here support, bounced. So this looks decent. I think this might continue to the upside. And then we have Bitcoin. I have here on this future a trade, but it looks like I might get stopped out. I have the micro future. It's just been choppier. I actually was thinking we're going to break through this resistance, and it looked very bullish here, but it rejected this previous resistance. You see this, how well it respects support and resistance areas. So this was the 64,000, rejected here, pulled back, and now it's kind of going sideways for a while, actually pressing lower. This is the previous support, 60,000, so I have my stop here, and if it goes lower, I'm going to get stopped out. So that's the current situation with some of those indexes. Bitcoin, do you have any tickers, guys, which you would like to discuss or to go through and share some trades maybe with me? Other than this, I will go through a couple of trades which I made and closed actually, like NVIDIA, and going into next week, trying to plan what we're going to do next week. Because of this overextension, it's always about risk versus reward setups, first of all, and also finding the best opportunities, but also being patient. I know, especially if you have this great run in month, we tend to start jumping into a lot of setups. We start to, looking for more opportunities, more setups, which is totally fine. But the problem is that at some point you just need to make a step back and wait the things to set up and come back to you. Because if you push it always harder and harder and you're trying to find something, even though the market is extremely extended, what might happen a lot of times is you're going to see a drop in the market, and again you're going to wipe out your profits. That's why I'm always talking about risk on market and risk off market. And for right now, for me, it's a risk off, because we went so straight up that I do expect to see at least a little bit of a pullback, and I don't want it to be very fast and lose parts of my profits. That's why I'm waiting patiently for the market to pull back and find some new opportunities. And one of the opportunities is actually the pullback itself. So you can trade this pullback too. The question is, do you want to go against the trend, and how much are you risking on those pullbacks and shorts? And that's something what I'm doing currently on ES again with my short. So we had actually on our list and our trades AMD. That's been a very, very nice looking chart so far. I brought it many times actually since last year. Broke out, then I brought it here back. Nice breakout so far. I actually closed here before earnings. A lot of my positions, it continued. So this is for me now, if you are still in this trade, definitely an area for profit taking, and I do expect to see a pullback. Looking at it from this perspective, that I'm going to see a pullback, I personally would prefer, like I mentioned, to look for some shorter term shorts. You can use options on those, you can use the stock itself, but I do think we might see a quick pullback on this one. So this has been actually a very nice looking setup, holding very nice support, and nice broke slightly below actually here, but it managed it very well to hold the 100, which is a whole number. And since then it went just straight up $40 on a $100 stock. So this has been a very, very nice move so far. Same like NVIDIA has been one of the biggest and strongest stocks and setups which I have brought up actually here. This is very nice uptrend as well. Pullback, I have a long-term position on this as well, but I entered here. It pulled back more, and here were many opportunities for re-entry, and it just took off extremely. This is based on the whole chip shortage, of course, but still, those are the opportunities which you should, in my opinion, focus on, guys. If you're trying to grow an account, or if you don't have time to sit in front of the computer every single day for many hours and day trade, you can just pick some of those strong growth stocks and go with those. Those are also, in my opinion, not very expensive. We have different kind of prices here. I'm going to share also with you a couple of the other stocks which we've been watching, and we're going to go and discuss some of those from my watch list, which actually did pretty well. Krishna, nice to see you here. What do you think of MRK pullback from Pfizer news? Let's see. I'm not involved into those stocks, to be honest with you, Krishna. It's because I'm just more focused on the tech sector. This has been one of the sectors actually which made my whole account to grow in the past, and it continues to do so. That's why I'm focused a lot on the tech sector and not really on other sectors. So my main focus is really the tech sector. MRK in general, I don't like trading stocks from pharmacy, biotech, and there is a reason for that. The reason is that sometimes they can come up with some studies or whatever, trials or testings, what they're doing, and then all of a sudden you're going to see a huge and quick drop or gap down. So that's why I personally like to stay away from those. Of course, this is a strong company and nothing wrong with it. So I definitely like this company overall. I don't know why they gapped up. So if you say that's Pfizer news and had good earnings, I don't know what's the news, but that's one of the reasons why I don't like trading those, because for me it's like 50-50. What if all of a sudden they gap down out of nowhere, someone dies? It's just very for me risky to put money into this kind of in general in biotech sector or pharmacy sector. There are some decent opportunities, of course, and you can always find some decent setups, but just for you, COVID pills, okay, I got it. So that's why it's just important to to understand the risks. So that's what I'm trying to say here. And of course, with this drop here, it still might be a good opportunity to buy. So overall, Merck is a good company. It's definitely a good-looking, stable company. This is nothing, like some kind of a cheap speculative thing. So if it starts to make, I would wait it out in this case to see where it stops. And if it starts to make some kind of a consolidation or something like show you a little bit more green candles, then definitely a good looking chart and setup and overall stock. The sector, like I mentioned, that's just my personal opinion. It doesn't mean it's not working. I'm sure it's worked for a lot of people. I'm just sharing with you my lessons, which I learned, unfortunately, the hard way with losing money. And that's why I just personally don't like the sector. But overall, this is a good looking, healthy company. As soon as it shows some bullish candlestick formation, something like this, you just need to see a little bit more, leave it for a couple of days to slow down, and maybe see a green candle here over this candle. That looks good. Okay, I see here the Duck is with us. He showed up. Interesting. I'm going to add him, Duck, here to the stream. Hello, Duck. Nice to see you.
Hi, I'm on. Am I live?
You're live. Everyone, you're live on Facebook, on YouTube and Twitch.
Wow, I'm going international here. Speaking of Facebook, it's like ramping viral. Up. I'm going viral. Oh, I'm kind of nervous. Speaking of Facebook, it's going like kind of parabolic right here, huh? I think we talked about this one last week. Even though Zuckerberg is a creep and he's weird, he got the whole meta thing going on, meta world peace.
Yeah.
Look at this thing ramping up here. Nothing you can do with it. I mean, you can't buy it right here, but
no, you can. But the good thing is we've been discussing it a lot of times, and I always said this is definitely a buy on a discount. Unfortunately, I closed. I had a position here, and I took the loss, which makes me look stupid. But I took
that's
the
not
loss.
The only. That's not the only thing that makes you look stupid, but yeah, the trading doesn't. Oh, that's terrible. I'll be here all week, guys. Put your tips in the jar. Thank you very much.
You're making yourself. You're making. you have to be careful.
I do have to be careful. No one looks as dumb as I do, so I got that going for me.
here's what I did wrong, and I'm gonna share with you. Sometimes that's the reason why I why, if you look back, you will see, well, I should have help. So I entered, I don't remember exactly, I think it was somewhere here, and I said I'm gonna hold this stock long term because I like Facebook in general, good fundamentals, very strong company, And so then I said, I'm going to call through earnings. I don't really care because it's Facebook. They had earnings. It was here around support, 200 moving average, oversold. Actually, this is one of my best and favorite setups, guys, that the stock, very strong growth stock, oversold around 30 RSI and around 200 EMA, one of my favorite setups. And that's exactly what I see here. You don't see this stock pulling back a lot. So I said, this is a discount for me. I want to buy it. Unfortunately, they came up with this with the CEO starting with some, all those private investigations. Someone came up with some data, and then SEC was involved. And when I see drama like this, I just don't want to be involved because I've been experiencing losses in the past on Alibaba stock, for example. That's why I personally don't like to be involved. So I just closed for a loss here, like the last idiot on earth. And look what happened. But it's part of trading. Nothing we can do, guys. You will always have those moments.
Yes, I did the same thing. I bought it. I made a few bucks on it, and I got rid of it for that reason because I kept thinking, well, it's still too much drama. I'll wait till after this Meta deal or whatever they got going on. And well, next thing you do, you turn around. Now, Paul's in here talking about PayPal. I have to say PayPal has my interest for the same reason. My only negative with PayPal is you've got earnings like in a week. That kind of bugs me a little bit. But as far as anything else, I'm very interested in PayPal.
Me too, Paul. That's a good setup, what you're bringing up. Very, very good. And also Hive, same trader. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It's asking about Hive in a long term. We can check this. PayPal, very good for me. Growth stock, yes, they missed earnings, but this is very similar, Paul, to what we've been talking about Facebook. Extremely oversold level. You know what we're looking at, because Paul is a subscriber. So extremely oversold level. We see here this support holding couple of times, and right now also we have here 30 RSI. It is below the 200 EMA, which is a little bit bearish, but very good oversold stock on a discount. I like it as well. I just don't like the earnings. I agree with Doug here with those earnings on the 8th of November, because normally they gap a lot with those earnings, especially PayPal has a gapping history. But if you're aware of the earnings and you want to give it a try here, it is very, very good risk to reward setup. I mean, it's 222. It's almost $100 here up to the high. So I don't know why it's selling off though, because look, the whole market is making all-time high after all-time high, and this thing is going down. So the question is why.
Yeah, I like this. I really do like this one.
Yeah. You always need to ask yourself why, if the whole market is going up, this is going lower. So
and then when the market decides to go lower, this one will go up.
Maybe.
Another one like that. What is your thoughts here? Because it's like, I'm looking for value now. I think there's a lot of this market's got a lot of froth in it. Some of these things took off. We've been talking about them for weeks. So I think those trades are over with now. There's been a lot of moves in things like DEC, Facebook, semiconductors, AMD. I don't think you can really get long here unless your time horizon is years. So I think the market, I said 16,000 was a goal for the Qs. It blew right through that like it was not there. I think it's too high right now. I think next week is a choppy to a red week.
Yeah.
Maybe a tiny pullback prior to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Maybe if you got the braveness, it could be a short. I think this market might be a fade today. It seems to be struggling a little bit, but when it comes to shorting the market, it's like, I don't know if there's like a tougher trade to be had. You know, I feel like you're wrestling an alligator. Like, let me wrestle someone else besides an alligator.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But I shorted ES this morning, and for now it's looking good.
If you did it, then I got to do it. I can't let you just walk away with all the glory here.
You did too? Did you short it?
Not yet. I'm going to. I got to try this thing. At least I'm trying to fade it for today. But
yeah, I think it's good. It's still not bad. Look at it. Let's take a look, and then we're gonna check out this Hive. So I think it is still good. I'm using here the 10-minute chart, a little bit lower time frame. So what I saw is this small consolidation, rejection, and then broke lower. But you just see it doesn't have enough momentum to the downside. It's kind of going lower, but it doesn't have like panic or flush or something like this. Yeah. So yeah, that's the trade is looking fine, but it's not what I wanted to. I want a quick move.
Yes, we all want quick moves.
Hive.
What has happened? Hive. Yeah, check Hive first, and then I got another one for.
Yeah. So Hive in general, this has been, of course, blockchain from the Bitcoin sector. Those are all been actually very good. This Mara has been a very good. BITF, which I had on my watch list for the subscribers, we had it here. It pulled back one more time into support, broke out. This what were the other one? HUT has been actually good, and ARBK or something, I forgot the name. ARKB, forgot the name. So those are all actually looking pretty good. Hive, if you're asking for long term, then you need to. I cannot answer for a long term quickly because I need to do some more research, but you definitely need to check out some of the fundies if you're looking for long term. So I can show you where to check those fundies. We can check some of those together real quick. So this is chartmill.com, and you have here, you can enter whatever you are looking for. The stock, and in this case, Hive was, as far as I remember, was not the best looking stock. So you see here profitability. Return on assets 23.98. That's actually saying the best in the industry. Return on equity 30%. That's pretty good. Outperforms 88% of its industry peers. And what happened? And then you have EBITDA here. Valuation is pretty low, so compared to the other stocks, so you have pretty low valuation. Low P ratio, so all that looks pretty good, and growth, so it's not bad, actually, not bad. It on the first side, so of course you can do some more detailed research, but you see on the first side it's pretty low valuation. Growth rating is good so far, so they are expecting to see some growth in revenue. They had some decent growth in the past year, so it looks very good. Looks so far good. Yeah. Nothing I can say about it. It looks so far good. If you want to do a little bit deeper research, definitely you can check out sec.gov, and then you can check out some of the filings. But again, that's just if you really are interested in going deeper into this kind of stuff. So this is the official SEC website, and then you can type in here the ticker, which is Hive Blockchain, and when you click on it, you see all the filings. 6K, 8K, 10K should be also there, and just check whatever you find here in detail if you want more detailed research for that. But based on what I see on the first site, it looks actually pretty good. And also you don't see a lot low valuation and growth at the same time. So normally if you have growth, you will see very high valuation. In this case, you see both very low valuation, pretty good, and actually decent growth. So that's a good sign. I like it. It's good for based on what I see here. I didn't like the price action. I think we discussed it a couple of weeks ago here on this YouTube live channel, what we're doing. We discussed that I didn't like the price action because it's been going down and then sideways, but now it's finally breaking out. So maybe on a pullback here, because look, right now it is right at a resistance. And when a stock is right at resistance, you don't want to buy it. It's like a zone where normally you're going to see some kind of a reversal. So if it pulls back a little bit here, maybe into the 335, somewhere here, this is the previous low and previous support area, that's where you would like to buy. So you want to wait always for a pullback and not chase it. But if you're looking for a long term, like, you know, maybe a couple of years from now, it doesn't really matter because you're going to hold for the next couple of years maybe. So personally, I would prefer, because we're at resistance, to see a little bit of a pullback, at least here into the 360, 330 area, somewhere around this previous low for a buy and go from there. But if you're looking long term, again, you can still do that and hold it. You're going to hold anyways for the next couple of years. Okay, Sebastian, nice to see you here. How are you doing and how is everything going? You're in since IPO. Very good. Nice. If you're in, that's great. Nice job.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm ready to bring some heat.
Okay. Please do so.
Coming your way. What the hell happened to Roku? What has happened to Roku? And I think we've got to be looking at this one just for a reversal. The last time that this thing's dumped 40+%, last time it did that, it rallied 40%.
Yeah,
it's right in the. I mean, they just got out of earnings, maybe a couple of days. Let everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Roku has been actually very good. So I'm going to explain it to you, okay? Because you're asking here the right person.
You're the right person for this?
Yes.
Not me, not anyone else. You are the right person.
Yes.
So when I think of all the people I can ask about this, if there was a big Rolodex of names, your name's at the top. You're the only one that's the authority here. Okay.
That is correct.
Then I should listen. I should listen and I should take notes on a piece of paper.
Okay, so like I've been discussing a lot of times that we are moving from one cycle to the next cycle.
Oh, you know? No. We're not talking market cycles, are we? Is that where we're going? Are we talking market cycles? Are you talking? Yeah, I don't know if you guys are here. I know Sylvia doesn't remember this. It's, you know, she's not an American. She's not an American. You know, she's new to this country, so she doesn't know a lot about, you know, culture and everything. But you guys all remember Allen Iverson and the playoff thing. Playoff? No, that was Jim. Playoffs? You talking about playoff? You talking about practice? Practice? That's what I'm saying. Okay. You talking about cycles? Market cycles? Are you talking about cycles? We talking about cycles? Okay, go ahead. Thought I was talking about maybe cycles. Somebody knows what. There could be just a bunch of foreigners in here. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. He's like, the guy's lost his mind. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so here back here, this was a very strong uptrending cycle. And again, I'm sure I'm talking about this 100 times, guys, because this is the key for you, how you're going to switch your your trading into a very profitable side. This was key moment for me where I started to make very, very decent profits and grow my account. If you have an understanding for this, I promise you, you're going to see a huge difference. That's why I'm talking about this all the time and a lot of times. So what we see here is we're leaving this uptrending cycle at some point into a distribution cycle, and then back into uptrending or a downtrending cycle. What we see here is after this strong up move at some point, and this is for all assets, this will be over, and this is what we saw here. We went straight up, started to go sideways, started to see a downtrending cycle, then again sideways, uptrending. So it's been kind of a rangy mode here since the beginning of the year. And of course, in this case, a lot of things might happen. Like, for example, news, earnings, they might start to change their business model. The company might start to experience, some losses or whatever they're doing. But the point here is we just left this cycle and entered from this uptrending cycle, couple of times sideways. Now we are just in a downtrending cycle, unfortunately, because I actually like this stock. A couple of times I brought it up. I thought this is going to bounce here, but for some reason it's not bouncing. And if the price action is telling you it's not ready, then it's not ready. Like, look, this is every single rejection, every single resistance, previous resistance areas are being sold off. So this has been a short opportunity more than a long. So I don't know about the earnings, if that's it's been very bad or what. I can check real quick. But for me, it's not a long yet. Do you like it for a long?
I do like it for a long, but not yet. No, they just usually when you have, or at least for me, when you have earnings, you've got to give them at least, I think 3 days is a good benchmark, like Twilio or something. You got to let that emotional span of time pass a little bit and let everybody get their sells out of the way. Stocks like this are heavily owned by institutions, so they can't just sell everything they have in the day. They've got to do that over a span of a few days and reposition. But I'm really interested in this 268 level. That was the lows from May 3rd. I think if you get down there and you start to see a little bit of support from the market, then this is something that probably should be looked at.
Yeah, it says Qualcomm beats Roku, misses on earnings. Roku price targets lower it across the board. Worse than expected accounts. Yeah, they're missing on some stuff. I have to read it in detail, of course, what was exactly what they're missing. Is it overreaction? Sometimes you have overreaction of that. But point is, whatever it is, guys, that's why I don't like trading earnings again. You just don't know the reaction. Maybe they're overreacting, but the point is it's just not looking good for it. And if they have bad earnings, I like earnings winners when they gap up and slow down a couple of days later and start to make some decent setups for another bull run. Those are the setups which I like, earnings winners. This is an earnings loser for me. So this might continue, to go lower, and maybe at some point, like you said, Doug, it might slow down and we might see a quick bounce of some area. But for now, it's just not ready yet.
Yeah. So I like that one. I'm watching it. We'll see. We'll see.
Good, Sebastian. I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Doing great as well. And Jerome, nice to see you here. Yeah, Roku is down. Yeah, this depends on your strategy, but you have to cut losses, Cake Sim, because this not cutting losses puts you in a position where it's just holding your capital and you cannot focus on something else. So cutting losses is essential if you want to grow your account fast.
Yep. This NVIDIA looks like actually a short here on the daily, but I'm not shorting NVIDIA. I'm just bringing it up, I guess, for the sake of, I'm not going to touch that thing right now. It's too aggressive.
I was looking, I brought up AMD for a short, actually. Look at it.
These things are brutal, man. They are brutal.
They are brutal.
Yeah, but a lot of these have just already taken off. I don't know where we have much more value. Well, Netflix kind of interests me a little bit too. You've got a couple of day pullback. Maybe if you can get down to 646 would be okay. But
yeah,
please ask me a question. I'm so excited to enter this.
So you're looking now for longs, but going into next week. So what's your plan going into next week? Are you not more focused on, because I'm personally looking for shorts going into next week, shorter term. I just don't want to buy at those overextended levels. That's my current problem,
Well, I wouldn't buy anything at an extended level. I'm kind of dumpster diving, looking for things that are beaten up and did not participate in this rally, like Roku, like PayPal, like these stocks I'm talking about that are not having earnings. Earnings is always an issue. Did real well with this strategy via Visa. Visa's a nice bounce today. I like to short, but it's hard to pick an individual stock that's in the bigger cap space. When it comes to shorting, I prefer to do the cheesy junkers.
Yeah, I know.
Better than I like those because, like, for example, if you're looking at a chart setup, you'd have to say NVIDIA is a textbook, short 101 chart pattern here. I mean, I don't know if you get a better look when it comes to technicals. And if it was probably any other stock, I mean, look, you got 2 back-to-back daily wicks at 314, respected that resistance to the T, got rejected twice. Your risk to reward is so high. I mean, if you short here at 300 with a 315 stop, your target is like 250. Like, you're talking about giving up 15 to make 50. It's good. Yeah. But how many times have we seen this, especially in tech stocks, semiconductors, NASDAQ stocks? They give you this look, you go into it, and the next thing you know, it comes right back up the following day, fills in this wick, and then runs to 400, then dumps. It's like, these are hard ones.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Those are harder. I have a couple of stocks too here, but again, I just have a problem of buying at those levels. But AMD, I mean, this is very extended. Look at it. Last time it pulled back a little bit, and I'm not looking to, because, you know, I don't like shorting those stocks, but just for a quick move. I'm looking for something quicker here, like NVIDIA, you said as well. This is very, very extended. So it will pull back at some point. It cannot continue straight up like this, you know. It is dangerous to do it this way, but I
would rather short the Qs. I would rather just short the Q here. I think it looks good. I think you're fading today. That's not enough, but I think that's the trade. You could easily pull back to 16,000 and then re-go long. I'd rather do it that way. I'd rather do the short that way. So or if you're going to do stocks, do things like Fubo, Vuzi, or some crap like that. That's path of least resistance.
So we discussed this trade idea right before you came with the shorting the Qs. What I was explaining, this is the 10-minute chart. By the way, I don't use 5 minutes because you use 5 minutes. So
I use that.
Decided to go on the 10-minute chart. So what you see here is nice try to break out and rejection. You see a couple of times rejection, so it's slowing down. And just before you came at the beginning here, I've been discussing this as a short idea because it didn't. You see, it cannot break out. This is the so-called failed breakout here. And I said, if this closes below this 10-minute candle, this looks like a short, and this is what happened. You know, it's just rejected, and now it's continuing lower. So far the short is working. Again, I'm not gonna hold those, but so far shorts are looking very good. Sebastian has some stuff for us. GTE, OCGN. Okay, let's check those out. GTE. Yeah, this looks good. I like this. This looks pretty good on the chart. Nice. What do you think about it, Doug? Is it support, trying to hold support here?
Yeah, I do kind of like that. Yeah.
I have another one on my list. I wanted to share with you guys. I've been looking through my list here.
I don't know if the pullback was big enough though, but
yeah, that's not enough, but it's not bad. I was, you know, which I had, I don't know if you, one of my biggest misses here this year. Look at this, AMRC. I brought this one on the watch list here around this area, 60. It went to 97. This thing is just not stopping. Look at it. Just look at it.
Should we short that one?
Maybe, yeah, maybe, because this went into.
I probably feel safer doing that than
87 RSI, 87. So that's very extended. I'm somehow angry that I missed this. I didn't enter it. I didn't expect, of course, this huge move, but some of those stocks on my list are really exploding.
What is the ticker again? I can't see it. AMMC?
AMRC.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And I brought it here around 60, you know. This is just, I don't know, this stock is just unstoppable.
It is. Yeah, you haven't even had a red day since this whole month. Actually, since like really, you haven't had a red day of any size since
I
October.
brought it up. I mean,
Man,
I'm
that
not
is a
saying that
beast. Yeah,
since I brought it up,
I think
but
this might be something to look forward to as a short on a first red day or some sort of pivot. I'm going to put it on the list again. I think that's the angle we should go with the next week or so, is try to dig out some shorts. I don't expect a really big time correction, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a significant. And if you look back at the recent pullbacks on it, it's not like with the NASDAQ, especially, do you get much warning. It just up and dumps 200 points in a day. You know,
that's the point. And
you look at the last few of them, like on the 27th, it just drops like a stone, you know, and that's probably what you're going to get here.
That's the point with those, you know, if they drop, and I've been discussing this, if you go back, unfortunately, I don't have it on this chart here on this platform, but if you go back 2017, normally you don't have this kind of a price action. So normally you have, you know, it goes up, pulls back a little bit, goes up, pulls back 2 days. If you look here back, goes up, pulls back. This has been straight up. The last time I have seen this parabolic move, it's been dumping very fast the next 2 to 3 days. And unfortunately, a lot of people are starting to get like, you know, oh, the market it will never drop, will continue higher, buying. But what happens, it comes out of nowhere because it looks so bullish. I don't know if you have seen this, and you think like this is never gonna drop, but the drop happens so fast and violent that by the time you realize it, it's already down like a couple of percent and couple of 100 points.
Yeah, that is exactly what happens every time. Is it, you know, right when everybody is super bullish and has capitulated to the short side and has given up and has said the market will never go down, that's when it goes down. Again, I'm not saying market crash, but I think the next move we see next week is somewhat bearish.
Yes.
And if it's not really bearish, I just don't see us making much more of a move up here. I would think how hard it was to get to 16,000 that we just jump right, like we're halfway there to 17. It's like, well, that was fast. So I think we've gotten a little ahead of ourselves, but I like this one here for a short. Yeah, I like this one.
Me too. I'm short the ES actually. Nasdaq is a little bit stronger, so I just personally don't really like to deal with Nasdaq shorts, but on the ES I am short, so let's see. So far it looks good. So what you can do here, guys, if you're trading against the trend and you're afraid, because normally what can happen is just reverse straight back up, you can move your stop loss to break even, and on this way you will be just out of the risk fast, because it is a counter trend, and short, you don't want to, you know, to risk disaster. Sebastian said, I got tempted with DWAC and lost some of my profits. Yeah, it happens. You know, sometimes you see those things and you think, oh my God, they're going to explode. And you really want to get involved into this. And I think it's okay to trade those if you just use proper risk management. You know, if you use smaller size, and if you're aware, okay, that's, you know, that is a stock which might just cause me some trouble or losses, and if you reduce your size on the stock, then it is fine to trade those. I think the only, and why I don't like trading in general those or bringing those up, because a lot of new traders are not understanding the risks with those and going full all account in and holding through, you know, through events and stuff like this. But if you understand this might dump on you, and especially some of those penny stocks as well, and you just want to make quick profits, that's a total different story. And I think it is also doable and profitable with a lower risk. But if you're trying to, you know, if you go all in, like unfortunately a lot of new traders, and then all of a sudden you're risking your whole account and hoping it's gonna go up based on pump and based on hope, that's a different story. That's not a strategy. So DWAC, yeah, this has been also very volatile.
Yes, that one's like an account blow up type of deal. Really tough proposition trading some of those sometimes, guys. if you're going to trade the cheapies, you should educate yourself on the cheapies.
Yeah.
I know sometimes we come across as we hate the cheapies. I don't. I actually like shorting some of these cheap stocks. I really enjoy that.
No, they're good. They're good
you got to know what you own. You got to know what you're getting into, because the ramification, like if you just are, let's say you're not very good at trading and you're new, you don't know much, you can just blindly buy Apple and AMD. And yeah, we can go through like a terrible market correction and a bear market, but at some point you're going to be all right. You know, like if we all bought Netflix today looking like this, 10 years from now, we'll have more money probably. Like it would really take a disaster for that not to happen the same way with the SPY. Not like that with the cheapies. Those things can go to zero. Some of you might remember CCME, quite a few. What was the other one? Was it SPRT or STRP? Something was just recently. It's not even listed anymore. It like vanished somewhere. It was like $10 to 60 or 70, and now it's nowhere. You got to understand that, like, you know, the party can end at any time. So you got to be really cautious about, you know, not overstaying your welcome there and that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a couple of things here on the list, which I'm going to bring up here. Let me just see. Do you know, by the way, this stock Bros?
Yes, you brought it up before.
Oh, okay.
I know, bro. I mean, I feel like we all have to own that just for the sake of owning it.
Yeah,
Like, bro, do you have any bros in your portfolio, bro? I think it's important for us to.
I have one for you, which looks actually very good, and I might actually buy it. This is an energy sector, cheaper stock, TGA. Right at support, 50 EMA looks decent here. What do you think? I have it on my list. Had it on my list recently.
TGA.
T
like
in trying.
Time, like Tom. T as in Tom.
Yes, TGA.
All right. It looks like really thin intraday here, doesn't it? Only like 25, 30,000 of volume. Yeah, the daily looks okay on this.
Yeah, it looks decent. Yeah, it's a little bit lower price. Yes, a little bit thinner, but it looks decent. Oil sector, energy sector. So I like this one. Again, I had it on my list. Then let me just check something. What happened with this DVAX? This broke out and had earnings. See, that's the problem with those earnings. This is just never predictable. I brought it up here. It made a new high, and then look, right before earnings dumped. I have a couple of other, but I don't like them. They're not really set up right now.
Yeah.
DLO.
Gonna have to go find some value next week. Some of these things have already made their moves, so.
Look at DLO.
Yeah.
And Task. I've been looking at this Task for a while, but for some reason, this is just not.
This DLO might be good.
Yeah, but you know, the problem what I have
42?
with those,
it's not bouncing. It's not coming out of this.
Yeah, it's just not like it looked a lot of times. I bought it a couple of times and I got stopped out. It's just downtrending, and it has more sellers involved. You see this based on the candles, guys. For those of you who are watching us and new to this, you see those red candles. This is never a good sign if it continues like this. And it might break this low here. So it doesn't look very good. Also earnings. So I was thinking we're going to see a bounce here based on those reversal candles, 200 EMA, but this red candle yesterday and continuation today, that's not a good sign. And also I'm always suspicious when the overall market goes up, but all those stocks are going down. You know, it's like.
That's because when the market goes down, they'll go up.
I don't know.
You're the market cycle queen. You know, it's a cycle. It just happens to be on the wrong cycle.
Yes, but
like Pupiton is the wrong cycle right now. I had so much high hopes for that thing last year. I was thinking, hey, this is, well, it was good last year. It went from 35 to 100. Yes. But I kind of thought, hey, it could be one. It had the makings of one of those old school Roku stocks or Nvidia. You know, back in the old days when those stocks were trading at 14 to 15 and all that good stuff. And well, you know, it didn't do it. Now I know a lot of people will say, "Hey, idiot, you should know better because you can't just put an iPad on a bicycle and expect to make money." But I've seen dumber ideas. I mean, you could say the same thing. You can't make an electric car engine and put it on a used Lotus chassis and make any money with that either, right? You see how that turned out.
Yeah, this was actually a very good. I like this stock in the past, and I think you made a lot of profits with it, isn't it? This one,
yeah, I did last. Yes, last year was very good because of that. Yeah. Because I got it at 35 and sold it like at 110. But then I bought it back later on a dip, and it didn't work out so well.
No, for me too. And, I was.
Now that it's at 60, I don't know if we should use the same formula and say, well, maybe later on this month it'll find a little short-term bouncing zone of some sort. But
I don't know. I personally don't like it. I bought it a couple of times here, but I never was able to catch the whole move like you did. But then here it started to get ugly, and then I got stopped out. And actually, it was pretty good. Everything looked good on this growth stock. It was a decent stock, and I think I longed here somewhere, if I remember, or here somewhere here, and then it dumped, and I held, and at some point I closed for a loss. It's just never recovered. Every single resistance is being sold off. And it's again, it exited, and you see this is a very good example for those cycles again. It exited this uptrending cycle, went into this sideways distribution, then went into a downtrending cycle, and since then it never made a nice uptrending cycle again, or never made an uptrend. And again, this can be a reason, can be earnings, change in the company, whatever. Missed earnings here, huge dump. So yes, it might bounce, but I don't personally, for a quick trade maybe, but I don't like, going into this with those bad earnings. Okay. Ryan is saying they had a merger, okay, with GREE. Okay, I see. I have, by the way, guys, with the members have an internal meeting. If you have any questions, I will be there. So this is for you, your session. We went through some stocks. We went through the current situation. And if you have any questions, I will be there. We can just meet and check what else do you have, what trades did you make, and if you, again, want to ask me anything you would like to know. And also for those of you, let me just open this one more time. For those of you who are new here to this channel, I have still on my website, I have free couple of courses here. So the free courses where you can find a lot of valuable information, Benzinga recorded sessions here about technical analysis for reopening stocks, how to find the best entries, exits. You can find some, this is from the Crypto Festival, a lot of free educational short videos. So feel free to check this out, because actually I'm thinking to put this down. I'm going to put this page down here, because I think, we are doing this live, so this is not going to be available for a long period of time. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
For joining. Have a great weekend, and thank you, Doug.
All right. Thank you, guys. Take care. See you soon.
See you. Bye.